Rise and shine, it's a brand new day with Mo and News. It's time to have your say. She's got the scoop, the stories, all the latest trends. Mo's got the news, let's hear it, my dear friends. From politics to showbiz, no story's too small. Mo covers it all. She's got the inside call, her voice so smooth, like honey in the summer sun. With Mo on the mic, you know the news is always fun. Mornings with Mo, the best newsy news in the world. With her style so classic and her stories unfurled. From morning till night, she's got us in the know. Turn on your radio, let Mo's newsy news flow.
Good morning, everyone. It is the 29th of July. It is Monday. Thank you, Christine, for waking up with us, and Wolfram for doing your Modly Mod stuff. Celestial Force, good morning. Crime Spies, good morning. I have the same thought about kids who can stay up really, really late, or people that can stay up and do stuff really late. So, everyone has their superpowers. I can just get up early in the morning. Good morning, Squid Pro Quo. Excuse me, and Jedi Jess, Captain Kern, good morning. And it looks like X has finally realized that I am a premium member, so it is going out on X, which is great. And our first story today is, look, you guys, have some food stored up, because if we are not in, Revelation, I don't know where we are, because some of these headlines, holy fazolies. Our first story, a supersized swarm of dragonflies overwhelms a Rhode Island beach in a creepy clip. Now, between sharks and now dragonflies, I think I won't be going to the beach anymore. Good morning, Jude Curio. Yeah, this looks terrifying. Freaky footage captured a swarm of dragonflies turning a Rhode Island beach to a scene akin from a biblical plague over the weekend. The seemingly endless swarm of dragonflies descended on Massaquamik Beach in Westerly on Saturday, when a cloud of the insects started buzzing across the beach, under umbrellas, chairs, past faces, and between legs. I was enjoying a nice day at the state beach when we endured a dragonfly apocalypse, one witness said. I mean, usually all you have to worry about is getting sunburnt and dealing with those parents that don't watch their children. But no, apparently dragonflies on Rhode Island. Good morning, greedy bloke. Some beach goers hunkered down or fled the sand for their cars. Others stood and laughed at the incredible scene. Some kids screamed, while others swatted away the passing bugs with shovels and water pails. Another witness, Richard Sontag, called the incident an invasion. Dragonfly swarms tend to form when the insects are either breeding in summer months or after smaller insects they feed in are kicked into the air by weather disturbances or human activity, according to WBUR. Oh, thank you, Jedi Jess. And it's, okay. Massaquamik. For the love of all that is, first, you're Rhode Island. You're the smallest, state in America. But then you have to come up with the most ridiculous beach names. Individual dragonflies in the swarms can number into the billion, and the groups can be so large that radar detectors or radar systems for like airports and airplanes can detect them. Dragonflies feed heavily on mosquitoes and various flies, but have also been known to prey on smaller mammals such as hummingbirds. Yeah, and hummingbirds aren't mammals, they're avian. Mammals, okay. Anywho, So there you go. Now it's not only people maybe unpleasantly fitting into last year's swimsuit, sunburns, and sand in uncomfortable parts, but now you have dragonfly swarms that are going to take over the world. I mean, I honestly would rather have dragonfly swarms than mosquito swarms, and if they eat mosquitoes, I'm falling on the side of the dragonfly. I if lines are to be drawn, I'm just saying I'm going on team dragonfly. You can pick dragonfly or mosquito, I guess. Good morning, Terry D. Our next story, well, a priest is very mad at Grinder. You guys, I can almost not read this freaking headline, and there's a couple like this. A Catholic priest was outed for using Grindr, and now he is suing the dating app for allegedly selling data. Well, darn, he would have gotten away with it if it weren't for that darn Grindr. A Wisconsin priest who was outed and lost his job for using Grindr is using the gay male dating app, alleged that his data was sold without his knowledge or consent. Someone said Grinder. John, you're here. Monsignor Jeffrey Burrell, who was the top administrator of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, USCCB, until his resignation in 2021, claims Grindr failed to inform him that his data was being sold to vendors, thereby allowing people outside the app to know he was on it. Sir, fornication outside of marriage is technically a sin, so I don't think that God's gonna really be interested in, like, the the conduit through which you went to fornicate, but sure, it's Grindr's fault. The release of his data caused quote unquote significant damage to his reputation, Burrell said in a lawsuit obtained by the Washington Post, especially given the vow of celibacy he had taken as a priest and also as, the Catholic Church has kind of a stance against Grindr, if you will, Grindr-like activities. The Catholic Church tends to frown on Grindr-like activities. He said he was forced out of his position with the church after Christian news website The Pillar ran a story exposing him for visiting gay bars and using the dating app. Reportedly, it had tracked down and verified his behavior using online data. The ex-priest alleged in his lawsuit that The Pillar received data from Catholic laity and clergy for Renewal, a Christian nonprofit that bought data from queer dating apps to track down church leaders using them against their vows. Okay, but how honestly do you think that this is a big problem that the conservative Christian right was like, we're going to need all of Grindr just to see if any of our people are there? I mean, what in the world? Implying that Grindr had sold it to the organization. We want answers so we can use that as a warning to other Grindr users, said Gregory Helmer, an attorney for Burrell. Burrell said he would have never joined the app if he had known that his data would become public. So it's not that whole sinning thing that's the problem. It's that you gave away my data on my sinning thing. Okay. All right. Sounds good. To have that decision forced out of your hands and into the public realm is reprehensible, James Carr, another attorney representing Burrell, told the Washington Post. Burrell, who Hemmer said is still getting on his feet following the shame and embarrassment of his outing, is asking Grindr for $5 million in damages. The company declined his request, and he sued on July 18th for damages and adoption of policies that prevent user data from being made publicly available without the user's knowledge. Grindr told Washington Post it will respond vigorously to these allegations, which are based on mischaracterizations of practices relating to user data, and previously denied that it made user data publicly available. CLCR, the, right-leaning group that was buying this data, I guess, acknowledged it had obtained data from Grindr in the past for the purpose of exposing clergy members, but claimed it did not give any data, details or data to the pillar. His outing sparked widespread criticism at the time, with many calling the pillar's use of data dangerously homophobic. Okay, Catholic Church. Catholic Church is still, kind of against these certain social mores. So yes, if you are a Catholic priest claiming celibacy and then you are on Grindr, that would be kind of a no-go. Now, that's something for the Catholics to deal with. I, as a recovering Catholic, have no strong feelings on this other than Grindr. I mean, at least it wasn't a furry website, but still. In other news, United Airline flights diverted over a quote-unquote biohazard as passengers asked for masks and the crew was getting sick. Well, it has never been a greater time to spark up that great American road trip rather than flying. United's air flight was diverted after an onboard biohazard left crew members vomiting and passengers asking for masks. Flight 2477 was bound for Boston from Houston's George Bush Intercontinental Airport Sunday morning, but was forced to touch down early in Washington, D.C., so the plane could undergo a deep clean after a passenger became ill, United told the Post. The situation was so severe that crew members and others on board began feeling ill themselves, prompting the pilot to request a diversion, according to radio traffic from the pilot. I talked to the crews, and it sounded like it was quite bad back there. The crew was vomiting. Passengers all around were asking for masks. A crew member was heard saying in audio from the flight, "Ugh, look, that plane is just a write-off. Go burn it with holy fire. Some things Lysol and bleach cannot fix." With this kind of being a biohazard, we think we need to get the plane on the ground ASAP, they added. The plane was safely landed at Washington Dulles Airport, where none of the plane's 155 passengers or its 6 crew members required medical help. The aircraft is currently undergoing a deep clean, and we are working to get customers on their way to Boston soon. I don't know. I'm going to guess it was someone ate like year-old White Castle and then got on the plane. That's all I'm guessing. Well, sadly for our lovely Sarah Boone, she's a bit confused. She's not having the best time being her own, her own lawyer. Who'd have thunk it? She doesn't know everything. I am thoroughly confused. Suitcase murder defendant is having a rough time representing herself ahead of trial. I mean, look, this is the dumpster fire that 2024 needs. I mean, I'm not saying that it's going to be good, but yeah, I need to look at her hearing. That's something I'll probably be looking at today. I've got a whole planner and I'm going to try to be organized. Who knew? Suitcase murder defendant Sarah Boone could be having a way better time representing herself ahead of trial. Quote, "I am thoroughly confused," she told Judge Wayne Wooten in a hearing on Thursday, according to Fox Orlando's affiliate WOFL. She claimed she was caught off guard by the hearing. "If I'm pro se and my own attorney, shouldn't I be included in all of this so I know what's going on and not a surprise hearing like it's again for the second time?" Wooten voiced a little patience for her complaint. However, "Ma'am, again, this is why there are benefits to being represented by counsel," he reportedly said. The court has already identified its 16-page order, or in its 16-page order, the reasons why you no longer have those benefits. It makes things exceptionally more difficult, as I explained to you in communicating with the court and communicating with the state attorney's office. I know, I feel so bad for her, not really. Boone has been representing herself since the end of June against a second-degree murder charge for allegedly trapping her boyfriend, Jorge Torres Jr., in a suitcase and taunting him as he passed away. She has gone through 8 attorneys in this case, which stretches back to 2020. To be sure, some counsel bowed out, citing ethical considerations. For example, a public defender's office had to punt because they previously represented Torres in a domestic violence charge, which Boone was the victim. Nevertheless, others, like Frank J. Bankowitz, have backed off because of friction with the defendant. No attorney can satisfy her, he wrote while leaving the case last year. Boone voiced disdain, respectively bad-mouthing both him and her final attorney, Patricia Cashman, as quote-unquote unprofessional and having a snotty attitude. Boone, Orange County Circuit Judge Michael J. Kranick showed no sympathy for her, however. He construed Boone as trying to stall the case. Actions speak louder than words, he wrote last month, although the defendant's words seemingly reveal a desire to go to trial. However, as set forth herein, her actions and inability to work with court-appointed counsel are repeated over and over, allowing the defendant her 8th appointed or court-appointed attorney, her 9th attorney overall, will only serve to delay the case further and encourage the defendant to persist in efforts to prevent the resolution of this case on its merits, the concept of which was first brought to the defendant's attention by on May 10th, 2022. Jump back to Wooten's courtroom on Thursday, Boone voiced frustration that she did not get access to all discovery. I don't know if this is something that I need to pursue continuously, still for me being able to receive my hard copies because no one tells me anything, she says. I cannot answer that question because that may call for me providing legal advice from which I am prohibited from doing, Wooten reportedly said. The trial is set to begin on October 7th. Records reviewed by Law and Crime show that Wooten on Thursday ordered that discovery be provided to the court on June 28th and has to be scanned and put into a necessary number of USB drives for Boone to review in jail. A defense investigative firm, Prison Break Investigation, is scheduled to appear in an August 5th status hearing to pass discovery to a jail representative. Records indicate that the discovery from June 28th fills 2 boxes. So she is going to get her discovery. And what I think she doesn't understand is the amount of work that goes into lawful lawing. And I think she's going to get a terrible crash course on that. I think that she is going to be even worse than Darrell Brooks. I really do. I think that he showed what a dimwit could do. Sarah is a dimwit pretending to be a half-wit. And I think that because she thinks she's so much smarter, we are going to see more shenanigans because she is going to try to bring out articles of impeachment or, freaking habeas corpus, something. She's just going to go crazy off the get-go. So I doubt that she will be able to render a, productive defense, but it will be a crazy train to watch. Sad news, unfortunately for this zookeeper. A zookeeper was, mauled to death by a raging mother hippo when he tried to feed her calves. Now, I have been reliably told by the Discovery Network that hippos are freaking crazy. Like, don't worry about, gators in the Nile. Worry about hippos, because apparently those are insanely territorial and nutty. And, vicious, as this caretaker learned. A 50-year-old caretaker at a zoo in India died Sunday after being brutally mauled by an angry hippo at the animal park, according to reports. Santosh Kumar Mateo was attacked by the animal at Ranchi Bhagwan Berswa's biological park after he went into the hippopotamus compound to remove a newborn calf for feeding. Again, why would you get between an animal and its baby? That seems like the most terriblest idea anyone has ever had in the history of ever. Like, I'm a new person at a zoo and they say, "Hey Mo, I'm gonna need you to go get that baby hippo from the mom." And I'm gonna be like, "Nuh-uh, This is not Super Trooper. I am not Rabbit. That's not going to happen. The protective mother hippo unfortunately attacked the gentleman, critically injuring him. Unfortunately, the caretaker succumbed to his injuries on Sunday at a private hospital here. Zoo director Jabbar Singh told the outlet the zoo authority took care of the hospital cost. Well, that's nice of them at least. We also tried to get a job for a member of his family, Singh added. The horrifying incident angered the rest of the zoo's 112 caretakers who shut down the park's main gates in protest to the authority. According to the Times of India, Matteo suffered multiple injuries in the attack, including having several limbs crushed by the hippo. In December, a worker at another Indian zoo was attacked and killed by a hippo. In that incident, a 40-year-old caretaker at the Wajad Al Shal Zoological Garden at Uttar Pradesh went into the animal's compound to clean it and was fatally attacked. Okay, do not go into the hippo's place. They don't like you. Though they did look quite fetching in Fantasia in their, tutus. I think I did not know how good hippos could ballet, but in Fantasia, I was very impressed. According to zoo officials, the hippo was locked behind a gate while the cleaning was being done, but somehow broke free and charged at the worker. A second worker was also injured in the attack, but survived. So, again, maybe we just don't have hippos at zoos. Maybe that's where we're going with this. Hippos, despite looking fetching in, their tutus in Fantasia, are freaking dangerous. So there you go. Be scared of hippos. He's the hero of the moment, and 2024, he's the hero we all deserve. Meet Bob the Cap Catcher, a Speedo-clad man who saves the day at Olympic swimming events. For reasons that I can't figure out. All cap, very little Speedo. Let's see if we can... Oh. Oh, so he goes in to get the... Well, he protects the pool from swim caps. Oh, it's like the ball boy in tennis. And he gets to wear a Speedo for his So what's my job, Harry? Okay, well, this is your uniform. I have a lot of questions. No, you're not going to get ones put in it. You are simply going to dive in the pool and get the swim caps that fall off. Really? I don't even get ones? All cap, very little Speedo. In the 2024 Paris Olympics that are underway, as it is the case with Olympic Games, sometimes there are athletes who can't take center stage. Enter Bob the Cap Catcher. During the women's 100-meter breaststroke on Sunday morning, American swimmer Emma Weber lost her swim cap at the bottom of the pool. While common sense would dictate that a swimmer would just get in after it, apparently that is not the case. Instead, a hero came to the rescue in all his glory, dubbed Bob the Cap Catcher by NBC broadcast booth commentators. A man of unknown origins in a small flowery Speedo walked across the stage for all to see and dove to the rescue. He's the hero that 2024 needs. Oh, well, that works too. Of course, the whole ordeal went off faster than a speedoing bullet, with the man retrieving the cap and exiting the pool in a timely manner without much fanfare or pomp. While there was a little bit of fanfare and pomp, the crowd buzzed as he walked across and even greeted some with cat calls from the audience. As he exited the pool, that he gave the crowd a wave which cheered in appreciation. Whether it was for the retrieval of the swimming cap, his swimwear, or both is unclear. When the music started again, Weber finished 8th in her heat, with South African Tangia Shonemaker, Japan's Satomi Suzuki, and Lithuania's Ruta Matiuki taking podium. The next time a swimmer loses a cap, be sure your significant other is looking away from the television. Otherwise, Bob the cap catcher is going to steal their hearts once again. Now, in a headline that I did not know if I could even put on here, but you guys, this might be the most 2024 headline that I have ever read in my entire life. And I'll just stop. You guys, I showed Mr. Mo this, and he's like, "What the hell is going on with people?" Wolfram, thanks for gifting 5 memberships, and those went to Terry D, Cindy Snyder, Crazy Grammy. Let's see, Colorado Mountain Girl. 1, 2, 3. There's one more coming up, and it just hasn't coming up yet. So this headline, I can only tell you that I saw it and instantly said, that is newsy news. But I feel kind of sad for humanity. We had a good run, you guys. I'm sure the Twinkies and cockroaches that take it over for us will be fine. I'm sure some days. And Valhalla awaits. Thank you. Yes. Valhalla awaits was there. Oh yes. I didn't see him because he has the little wrench, so my brain didn't go with that one first. And I was too squirreled, focused on this headline. But I shall not waste any longer. Teen bestiality suspect caught by own dad and sister allegedly flipped out and punched inmate who mocked him with donkey sounds behind bars. Y'all, I can't. I did not have teen bestiality suspect punching inmate because he made donkey sounds on my anywhere near my bingo card. But this story, all I thought when I read this headline was, please don't let it be Indiana. Please don't let it be Indiana. And he's not a bad looking kid. Like, I'm trying to over here think, he could probably get a girlfriend that doesn't have 4 hooves, but maybe that's how he just, the donkey was egging him on. Dang it. An 18-year-old in Georgia has been in jail for 2 months, reportedly after his own father and sisters told the authority of alleged SA of a donkey and another offense against the family dog, a Great Dane. Apparently, others in Monroe County Jailhouse got wind of the particulars of the case. Now, it's bad when you're like, guys, I'm not a chomo, but there are things I have done with Mr. Ed. I mean, I don't even know. Sir, you should have lied about tell people you went on a high-speed chase, all, crystalled out of your mind. But okay. Jason Weir was hit with a misdemeanor battery charge after following another inmate into a jail cell and punching him for mocking him with donkey sounds, according to ABC affiliate WSB-TV reported. As of Friday, Monroe County jail records reviewed by Law and Crime do show that Weir has been in custody for 61 days since his May 27th arrest, but there are 2 separate warrants listed, one for felony animal SA case and one for a misdemeanor battery offense that appears to be connected to the reported jailhouse outburst. The story so far is that an inmate who was aware of particulars in the case against Weir started making donkey sounds, which set off the defendant to such an extent that he allegedly followed the inmate into jail and attacked him by hitting him in the head near the eye and ear, then subsequently blamed the flare up on the mocking noises. The report did not or said that the inmate didn't fight back as the enraged bestiality suspect allegedly escalated the verbal altercation into a criminal battery offense. Don't let this man watch Zootopia. I don't care how many times he puts it on, the little movie request sheet. Zootopia is a bad movie for this man. Oh, Jesus. When Weir was arrested in May, his own family members said that he was caught with his pants down out in the yard outside their home, attempting to have relations with their male Great Dane named Freedom. I got nothing. Okay. As you do, I guess. Just drop trow in front yard and try to, scare Freedom. This is an attack on freedom. Oh my god, why? It just keeps dumber and dumber. Please, for the love of all that is holy, televise this case. I need this in my life. It is gonna be the most horrible thing I will ever watch, but this is a dumpster fire with, like, acid. When Weir was arrested in May oh, okay, he's 18 and should know better, Weir's family reportedly said of the situation. So you wouldn't have been upset if he was 17 and dropped trow and tried to romance Freedom in the front yard? I mean, listen, Tim, if I had to see the headline, you all have to see the headline. Ware, for his part, allegedly tried to explain his pants being allowed by blaming the dog for knocking him over as the defendant went to the restroom. I was not having relations with that dog. I was trying to urinate and he pulled me over. I mean, that's okay. In Georgia, bestiality is still a felony, punishable by at least up to a year in prison or possibly 5 years. So there you go. Things you didn't know about Georgia, but now you do, and aren't you happy? I have no words. I seriously want to. So what happened with the donkey, sir? Were you again trying to, piddle and somehow things happened? One thing led to another. Just alrighty. Well, um, Boar's Head is getting its first lawsuit over the listeria outbreak, but it's over damage to a marital relationship. Now, I don't know how this happens. I don't know what's going on here, but if you can't get your baloney and that leads to marital issues, it's a serious story. An elderly Missouri couple has filed the first lawsuit related to a recent listeria outbreak linked to boarheads meat sliced at deli counters, which sickened nearly 3 dozen people and caused 2 deaths. Patrick and Sue Fleming are seeking upward of $25,000 for injuries and damages from Boar's Head and Schnucks markets for medical expenses, loss of enjoyment of life, and damage to the marital relationship, according to a complaint filed in St. Louis Circuit Court. Plaintiff Patrick Fleming has lost Love Services Consortium, comfort, instruction, guidance, counsel, and support of his spouse, which he would have received in the normal course of his married life, the suit said. So these are the lovely couple, and apparently this man doesn't know how to fold laundry. After eating Boar's Head liverwurst, Patrick, 67, or 76 purchased at Schnucks Markets in Baldwin, Missouri on June. Sue, 88, became deathly ill per the complaint. She reportedly, received all the bubble guts feelings, whole body aches, muscle weakness, all of that jazz. She had to receive intensive treatment in a nearby hospital where she remained critically ill and hospitalized for 9 days. Upon her release, she was transferred to a rehabilitation center where she attempted to regain her pre infection baseline for 11 days. The octogenarian alleges she still suffers from the effects of her infection, including an array of neurological symptoms, including fatigue and overall illness. Now, she is a spring chick, or she's young at heart, but 88, you are still not going to get through a profound flu as well as you would have if you were, say, 44. The Flemings are suing Boar's Head and Schnucks for manufacturing defect and negligence, among other causes of action. On Friday, Boar's Head recalled at least 207,000 pounds over 200,000 pounds of liverwurst, which I don't know why we have that much because I've never eaten it, and bologna is gross. Sorry, I will eat Spam, not bologna. I don't know. Stop and Shop then temporarily closed all of its delis in its stores. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said that 34 people in 13 states were sickened with the listeria outbreak. 33 of them were hospitalized and 2 died from their infections. 12 of the victims were in New York. Most people recover after 3 days and rarely become seriously ill, but of the 1,600 annual cases, about 206 people or 60 people die each year. Now, I love that the marital relationship, this husband is like, my wife has been in rehab for 11 days. I don't know where she put the extra remote. We have extra remotes. I don't know where she put them. I don't know how to fold the clothes. We've got groceries going in here. This poor man is at his home and has no idea where things in the house are. So he's like, I'm going to sue the hell out of Boar's Head. I have no idea what's in my junk drawer. My wife's calling about her red Pat. I don't know where that is. But I do hope that she gets better and can go back to enjoying her life. I doubt that this lawsuit is going to amount to much. Generally, companies can cover their own behinds rather well and don't need, help. But hopefully they will get, feeling better and she can move back in and he will know where the extra, silverware is and all of the other things. Now, this next story is for the ladies. I don't forget about you. I may have put some weird stuff in. Excuse me. All right. Olympic fans drool over Dutch swimmer's thirst trap swimsuit. Is this even legal? I'm going to say it's perfectly legal, but apparently, there you are, ladies. This is what we want. A man in, well, capri pants, basically, biker shorts. So there you are, ladies, just for you, the thirst trap. Hopefully it will. Hopefully. And yeah, I've seen it in a lot of situations where if a wife gets sick and a husband is left home, he's like, "What are we supposed to be doing here? I don't know anything." They were talking about Paris 2024 being the hottest Olympics on record, but no one said it had anything to do with men's swimwear. A Dutch swimmer has become an overnight hit, with those inclined after exiting the pool in what appeared to be the skimpiest, most revealing trunks ever seen since since February Mardi Gras. In a decision that was clearly made by public relations team, the Netherlands have opted for the almost flesh-colored orange on the thighs of their trunks. The optical illusion almost makes it appear as if the swimmer is naked. Well, there you go. I mean, why else would you watch swimming? I mean, obviously for the breaststroke, but so when 28-year-old Arno Kaminga's tightly fitted spotted number graced the pool deck, he became an instant celebrity on social media. Definitely watching for the sport, one person wrote under the post. Name another wrote, in public, is this legal? Remember, folks, the Olympics isn't just about gold medals. It's about building a social media following. You can support yourself after the novelty of being an athlete wears off. All jokes aside, Kaminga has been vocal in the press over a much more serious issue in the build-up to the games. Kaminga described the case of 37 Chinese swimmers testing positive for a banned drug as a lose-lose situation, questioning how the investigation was handled. Everyone is questioning it, so it's a lose-lose situation for everyone, for swimming lovers, but also for Chinese swimmers themselves. It's hard to judge or say anything without knowing everything, Kaminga said to Reuters. The problem in the way in which it was handled for them just to cover it up, not saying anything instead of being upfront and transparent with us, I think that's the problem, where the problem lies for most people. Whether they're positive or not, I don't know. I can't say anything about it. I hope and I can trust the WADA that the conclusion was right. I'm just disappointed in the way it was handled. Kaminga is not sure if he would shake the Chinese swimmer Huin Hayek's hand if he beat him to gold. I'll have to see how it goes. I'll see how people in the stands react. Of course, it's a bit hard. I've been training my whole life, sacrificing so much. I just want to be on an even playing field. I want everyone to be on the same level, and I really hope he is as well. When he wins a fair game, I will congratulate him. I've been beaten fair and square, but yeah, the situation is hard. So I will say that, the way they've been handling doping has been very opaque, very non-transparent. And it does seem that it has put a shroud over certain sports, especially swimming, with the amount of kind of finagling they've done without being transparent, without giving us clear, these, Chinese swimmers were found with this, what is going on, this is the penalty. So it really is um, a good thing. I am so sorry, Cindy. I hope that um, things are a struggle. The first year after you lose someone important, I swear, is just kind of sleepwalking. Take everything day by day. Uh, I don't have the greatest wisdom, but just don't beat yourself up for feeling whatever way you do. I know I judged myself very harshly for feelings I was and wasn't having when I was grieving, and uh, the greatest wisdom I could give anyone else is that it's okay to feel however you feel. Grief doesn't Grief doesn't come with an instruction manual, and some days you'll feel fine and some days you'll feel terrible and other days you'll be doing well and then it'll just kind of go. And just give yourself grace. Give yourself grace and don't be afraid to say, "Hey, I'm not dealing well with this. I don't know what I need right now, but could you just sit here with me?" Don't be afraid to say that to someone you know. Sometimes just having someone that sits with you, that understands that you're going through a really rough time and doesn't offer anything other than just, "Hey, I just wanna sit here with you while you're going through hell." That can be one of the greatest gifts you can ever give people. But you can also open yourself up for that, because I know for many years I wasn't, and I think I blocked a lot of that. So it's a weird thing, and honestly, I look back at that year to year and a half of my life, and I can't remember it. I wish I could. There are moments I do, like, but as for having it's kind of a fog, and I think that if you ask a lot of people, that first year is just a fog, and you just know it's okay not to be okay, but your life will grow around it, and it won't always seem like a gut punch, if that makes any sense. And kids doing something that is not horrible. And I thought we would end on this so we would have some good things to learn about our high schoolers. A high schooler develops an innovative solution to fight a major invasive species wreaking havoc on local farms. I do like when I can pick out stories where young people are doing something interesting and, you know, positive instead of twerking, which is, or, as of today's story, bothering donkeys and Great Danes. Spotted lanternflies are an invasive insect species that was first spotted in the United States in 2014 and can do major damage to trees, crops, and other plants. Now, an 18-year-old high school student from New Jersey has come up with an innovative solution to keep them at bay, Smithsonian Magazine reported. Selena Zhang said her latest invention, Artificial, is a solar-powered, self-cleaning, artificial intelligence-driven, umbrella-like tree that attracts insects, then zaps them to death. I mean, I'm willing to listen. Selena has named her invention Artificial. It's solar power. I mean, to make artificial work. Selena took over 500 photos of spotted lanternflies in the wild and logged them into a database, which she used to inform and program an AI model which can recognize lanternflies and differentiate them from other type of insects. I didn't want to rely on internet pictures, which are often designed to focus on specific aspects of the spotted lanternfly, such as the vibrant red wings or the cluster of them together. Part of making good AI models is having good data to train it with. My field observations and pictures gave the model a more comprehensive understanding of what it might encounter. And thank you for joining us this morning, Fraudit Wrangler. And you have gifted 5 memberships. So Lady Autumn Sky, Spirit Matter, Jung Forever, Patrick W., and Dennis Heaton. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Church of Mo. We have dark humor and sarcasm, and I hope that you all appreciate those. And thank you, Fraudit Wrangler. I mean, this would be something that I would never think to do. So I am amazed at what kids can do with crafting AI and all this stuff. In addition, she specially designed the mesh on the device with a double layer to more effectively ensnare insects and use ultrasound to release an incense made from the essence of tree heaven, one of the spotted lanternfly's known host plants in its native China. It was amazing to see it working. Selena said, it was a light bulb moment. When I pushed the internet on and tested the net with a screwdriver, it gave a spark. Seeing it come to life was an incredible feeling. Selena hopes that farmers can use her invention to help protect their crops, and more broadly said that she would love to develop Artificial as a general paradigm, not just for spotted lanternflies, but as a general approach that we can use toward technologies and pest control. For her efforts, Selena was named one of the 40 finalists in the Rajaron Science Talent Search, a prestigious science and math competition for high school seniors. According to that, previous efforts to mitigate the exploded spotted lanternfly populations have focused mainly on telling people to squash whichever ones come, on the sidewalk. So there you go. Good luck, Captain Kern. I hope they find out what's going on. I know that I'm glad you are okay, but I'm sure your wife was really, really afraid when you had your, you know, episode where you just kind of blanked out there. So hopefully you get some answers, because That would be scary as heck if Mr. Mo said, "Yeah, I just kinda, pooped out and going to the doctor." In our final story, because some people like running, like my middle daughter, I don't know why, but she's doing cross country again this year. Australian ultra marathoner sets record for fastest crossing of Malaysia. I mean, I could probably cross Malaysia in a scooter. Australian ultra marathoner Natalie Danu has set a new record for the fastest crossing of peninsular Malaysia on foot. She covered 700 kilometers from Ketelan in the north to Johor Bahru in the south in 8 days and 46 minutes. This accomplishment adds to her growing list of ultra marathoning achievements, which include her debut race in 2019. Dow was well prepared for this challenge with 10 top championship titles in races ranging from 50 kilometers to 200 kilometers. Her crossing was part of Project 1000, a 1,000-kilometer journey from Thailand to Singapore. To tackle the course, she ran between 95 to 80, or 85 to 95 kilometers a day. That's a no. That's a no. Starting as early as 12:35 a.m. to avoid the heat while managing an infection throughout the attempt. The last 20 kilometers of each day were the hardest I've ever experienced, she said. She went on this journey to raise money for a global charity that supports girls and women through sports called GRLS. There's a huge gender gap when it comes to exercising, as females are 40% less likely to be active, and this number is even higher in underprivileged communities. It can be lack of access to facilities, gender stereotypes, religious or cultural reasons that make it hard for females to get into sports or working out. Girl is working to break down those barriers. I mean, it's not the most useless charity ever, so there you go. And yes, welcome participation trophy wife. I love your name, best name ever. Wish I had thought of it myself. And here I am, I'm like, I'm gonna go to 3 miles this week, feeling all proud of myself. And she's over here like, I ran 25 kilometers today. And I'm like, who does that? Why? I am sending you guys over to Baker. He is doing the Ashley Banfield trial, I believe. So he is continuing to do that. I will be working on Mo's Fluffy to Fit. I've got politically Mo stories to do, and then Newsy Nuggets today, and then we'll have nightly Newsy News tonight at 7. So I will be all around today, and then trying to give you guys a little insight to where I'm scheduling and where I'm going with all these different channels. So thank you for joining me this morning. For the most epic title, I might do it, the donkey lover as his own separate video, because oh my god. But other than that, I hope you have a great Monday. We got you the crazy stories to give you that little extra urge to do something great on a Monday. Have a wonderful Monday, and I will see you guys here, there, and everywhere, but mostly for nightly news tonight at 7. Bye guys.